All right, hello and welcome back. I'm Kevin King. I'm the pastor here at Nay Church of God. And as the COVID-19 virus continues to disrupt everyday life, we're all required to make some adjustments. And unfortunately, that includes us and their congregation as well. And so I am announcing that this week, we will be suspending our Sunday morning worship services at the church. However, I am going to provide a time of teaching right here online, so you can stop in right here, spend some time learning, but we don't want it to end there. We also want to give you more of a worship experience, and so we also want to provide for you a way to maybe do some singing of praises as well. And so with that, go to our channel page on YouTube and click on the playlist tab. You will find a playlist with 4 songs in it it's dated for Sunday, so that you can sing along or even just listen to the music, however you want to do that. But if you start your worship time at 10:35 sharp, that music will end just before 11 o'clock. And it is at 11 o'clock on Sunday morning that I will be continuing our series in the final week of Christ. Now, I understand this is going to be really difficult. It will probably be a little rough even on our side as we get this thing going. But life is changing. Things are happening, but God is still in control, and we truly believe that. And we also truly believe that we can worship even if it is a virtual worship experience. So now that I have that out of the way, let me also say, be sure to get together. Be sure to spend time with one another. Call each other. Still live within community. It's just going to need to look a little bit different, and you're going to have to be intentional about it, about not just sitting at home. Just this week, I received an email which shared some thoughts that I would just wanted to pass along with you to help us all cope with this hard time that we're going through. And so they give 5 tips, and let me give those to you. Number 1, it says, don't stay plugged in 24/7. I know there's a lot of news stories on. You could sit and watch the news 24/7 to just get more and more information about this COVID-19 virus, but don't allow it to consume your every waking moment. It's not healthy for you to just sit in front of the TV, no matter what you're watching all day, but especially when you're just trying to when you're just sitting there being consumed by this COVID-19. You'll easily get overwhelmed. So don't stay plugged in 24/7. As number 2, as I already mentioned about being intentional to get together, don't forget we live in an age of technology. And so use the technology to lean into your relationships. Carve out time to do video chats with one another, FaceTime or Google Hangout or however you want to do that. Spend that time together with your friends and with your family. Make sure you do that. Number 3, take care of each other. These major life changes are going to impact some people and perhaps you financially. And so I really want to encourage you to care for each other. If you are in the situation where you could pay it forward, maybe order food for a friend who might have lost most or all of their work, consider doing something like that. It would be greatly appreciated as we try to be the hands and feet of Christ even in this day and age. Number 4 thing I want you to encourage you to do, get outside. Just because we're not allowed to meet in big, large groups doesn't mean we can't go outside. The sunshine, the breeze, they are all good for the body and mind. And it looks as if we have some decent, for Ohio, weather coming. And so let nature help you in the weeks ahead. And then finally, number 5, please excuse my use of foul language here, but exercise. I know. But exercise is good for us. It's good for your heart, good for your muscles, good for your mind. Even if you just take a walk, At ohio.gov, they have a lot of advice for dealing with this coronavirus. They have a checklist for family activities to do during COVID-19. I will link that in the description below, but one of those things that it tells us to do is just take a walk out in one of our parks that we have in Ohio. Get out of the house. Get out of the house. It will be beneficial for you and your family to do such a thing. So listen, I know that this time can be overwhelming. It can be all-encompassing. The days ahead are going to be difficult. But let me give you a little bit of perspective before I let you go. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 8, we have Jesus. He's getting into a boat, and his disciples followed him. And without warning, a furious storm, it says, came up on the lake so that the waves swept over the boat. But Jesus was sleeping. And so the disciples went and woke him, saying, Lord, save us. We're going to drown. And Jesus replied, you of little faith, why are you so afraid? Then he got up, rebuked the winds and the waves, and it was completely calm. And in the last verse, verse 27, it says, the men were amazed and asked, what kind of man is this? Even the winds and the waves obey him. Let me give you 3 things that you guys can really grab a hold to out of this passage. Number one, that we need to keep in mind for today is that God has power over every storm. If the wind and waves don't concern him, then they shouldn't frighten us. You might not be able to change your situation, but you can choose to faithfully trust God in the middle of it. Number 2, fix your eyes on Jesus, because by doing that, it leads us to peace. You see, all too often we focus on the storms, we focus on the COVID-19, we're too focused on the things that are going wrong, instead of focusing on the one who can actually calm that storm. It's only by focusing on God, who knows every outcome, that we can navigate this situation with wisdom and peace. And number 3, remember that Jesus is always in your boat. It's easy to focus on your fears when you can't control your future. But thankfully, Jesus knows our future. And he is always by our side. And he calls you to live by faith and not by sight. So whenever you find yourself overwhelmed by life, you will always have 2 choices. You can either focus on those circumstances, or you can fix your eyes on Jesus. And if you choose to look to Jesus above everything else, you will begin to see that the storms you face are not nearly as powerful as the Savior you have walking beside you. So I pray you have a great week, and I look forward to worshiping with you this Sunday. I'll see you later. God bless.